Hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. Today we'll be solving again some ICT questions, and these will be again focused on algebra or advanced math, functions, etc. So once people join in, then we'll start solving the questions. So once people join in, then we'll start solving. Welcome to today's stream. Okay, so let us start with this first question here. So this is an algebra question, and this is a question based on linear functions, and it is a easy difficulty level question. So the question is, Gabriela deposits $35 in a savings account at the end of each week. At the beginning of the first week of a year, there was $600 in the savings account. So how much money will be in the account at the end of the fourth week of that year? So we have an initial amount that is $600, and we have a recurring savings that is being added here, deposited, that is $35 at for each week. And before the first week of the year, the at the beginning, so the amount is this, and then 4 weeks have passed, and at the end of the fourth week of that year, we have to find the amount in the account. So this is a simple addition problem. So every week $35 get added to the account balance. So since 4 weeks have passed, so we'll have 4 times 35 dollars getting added in the account balance. So let us write that down. So we have 600 initial balance, and then amount per week 35. Everything is in dollars, so that is the currency unit. And then here after 4 weeks, amount will be 600 plus 35 multiplied by 4, so that will be 600 plus 140, so that will be $740. So let me write this. Okay, so our answer would be this one, 740 D. Okay, so I hope the question and the answer is clear. This is a very straightforward problem. You just have to add the amount added and calculate it for 4 weeks, and then add it to the initial balance, and you'll get the amount. Okay, now let us move to the second question. Okay, so this is the second question. It is a system of it is a question, again another algebra question. This will be mostly algebra heavy since that is a large part of SAT questions. So this is a question of system of two linear equations in two variables, and difficulty level is hard. So the question is that 3x is equal to 36y minus 45. So this is a equation given in two variables, and then one of the two equations in a system of linear equations is given. The system has no solution, so which equation could be the second equation in the system? So there is a pair of system of linear equations in two variables. One of them is given, which is this one, 3x equal to 36y minus 45, and the second one is not given, but we are given that the system has no solution, so we'll have to find the second equation. So here the concept is that whenever a system of linear equations has no solution, then there is a condition that holds. So let us define this. So suppose we have two equations, uh, a system of linear equations where this is the form ax1 plus by1 plus c1 equal to 0, and the second equation is of the form ax2 plus, okay, this x and y are the variables, so we'll keep them x and y, and the coefficients are actually a1, so a1 a1x b1y plus c1 equal to 0. Similarly here it will be a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So this is the general format of a system of two linear equations in two variables. So now the condition that is being given is that the system has no solution. So if the system has no solution, that means that these are two parallel lines in a plane, and they never meet. Instead, if the system had infinitely many solutions, then these two would be the same lines overlapping on each other. So the condition, mathematical condition, is that the ratio of the coefficients should be equal for x and y. So a1 by uh, a2 is equal to b1 divided by b2, but that is not equal to So let me write it not equals C1 equal to C1 by C2. So for no solution, this condition must hold. Let me write that down. For no solution, this condition must hold, that the ratio of the coefficients of x and y should be equal, a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2, but that shouldn't be equal to c1 by c2, because if it is equal to c1 by c2, then the equation are basically same and there are infinitely many solutions. So for no solution, this condition must hold. And as I told, this is because the slopes will be equal, so there will be parallel lines, but the intercepts will be different, so the constant terms must be different. So they shouldn't be equal, but the ratio should be same for x and y. The constants should be in a different ratio. That is the condition. Now let us compare this equation's coefficients with the given options. So for option A, we have okay. Let me write that down. The value of a1 and b1 and c1 as per the original equation. So we are given 3x equal to 36y minus 45. So this can be written as 3x. I'm taking all of the terms to the left hand side. So 3x minus 36y plus 45 equal to 0. Okay. Now for option A, we'll find out the ratio of the coefficients of x and y. So for x, it will be 3 by 1 uh, x coefficients. For y, because here we have 3 as a coefficient and here we have 1 as a coefficient, x equal to 4y. Okay. And for x we have 3, the ratio is 3. For y coefficients we have um, the coefficient y here is minus 36, and there so it can be written as x minus 4y equal to 0. Option A, let me write it here, 0, to just to bring it into the standard form where we have all the coefficients on the left hand side. So x coefficients, the ratio of x coefficients is 3 by, so let me write it as a1 by a2, a1 by a2 equal to 3, and b1 by b2 will be equal to here it is minus 36 and here it is minus 4, so minus 36 by minus 4, which is 9. So they are not equal, so this is not a um, this is not the correct answer. So then we go to the next equation, B, and here again we check the respective coefficients one by one to find out the ratio. So let us do that. So here we'll write the same thing. We have 1 by 3x equal to 4y. So we can write it as 1 by 3x minus 4y equal to 0. Then a1 by a2 will be 3 divided by 1 by 3, which is 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. And b1 by b2 will be uh, so we have minus 4 and minus 36, so minus 36 for the original equation and minus 4 for this option, which is 9. So here a1 by a2 and b1 by b2 are same, so one of the condition is holding. Now we'll check c1 by c2 so that to make sure it's not equal. So c1 by c2 is equal to um, this will be, let me write the option c, okay, c1 by c2 is equal to 45, and here we have 0. So this is an undefined form, so this will tend to infinity. So this is clearly different than the a1 by a2 and b1 by b2. So here the condition holds, this condition. So we can safely say that B is the correct answer, because if B is paired with this equation, then the system will have no solution. Um, so this will be our correct answer. And if we check for C, then for C also, if you notice, the A1 by A2 ratio and B1 by B2 ratio are equal, because C can be written as x minus 12y plus 15, and then if we find out the ratio, we'll have 3 by 1, which is 3 for A1 by A2, and then for B1 by B2 it would be, here if we bring it to the this side, it will be minus 12 here, so minus 36 by minus 12, which is 3. So these two ratios are again equal for this option C, and then 15 comes here to this side, so it will be plus 15, and here it is plus 45. So C1 by C2 would be 45 by 15. So this is again 3. So for option C, all three ratios are equal. A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, and that is equal to C1 by C2. So this is a case of infinitely many solutions. So here there are infinite solutions. Uh, okay. Now, so our answer is B. So correct answer is option C. Okay. Sorry, option B it would be, because B is where we found that A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 9 and not equal to C1 by C2. So B is the correct answer. 1 by 3x equal to 4. This is the required equation. Okay. Now let us move to the next question. Okay. So the next question is this. It is again a algebra question of system of two linear equations in two variables, and it is a hard question. So let us read it first and see what the question is asking. So we are given two equations, a minus x plus y equal to minus 3.5 and x plus 3y is equal to 9.5. So we have two equations in x and y, and we are told to find the value of y. So let us solve these two equations. Okay. Okay, so let us write it down. Minus x plus y is equal to minus 3.5, then x plus 3y is equal to 9.5. Now we see that to eliminate x, we can just add these two equations, and then we'll only have y. So let us add equation 1 and 2. Let me write it as 1, and this will be 2. So then equation 1 plus equation 2 will be minus x plus x cancels out, and we have y, and 3y is equal to minus 3.5 plus 9.5, and this will be equal to 4y is equal to 6. So y will be equal to 1.5 or 3 by 2. Okay, so this is the value of y, and this is the answer. So you can view the answer here. It is a solution of linear equations. We have solved this using the elimination of one of the variables to find the other one. So you can follow along the solution. Okay, let's see the next question. Okay, so I hope you had a look at the question. So this is again another question of algebra, which in a system of two linear equations in two variables, and it is a medium level difficulty question. So the question is, we are given two equations here. uh, Half of y is equal to 4 and x minus half of y is equal to 2. So the system of linear equations above has solution x comma y. What is the value of x? So we'll have to solve for x. So here the first one doesn't have any x term, so we can simply solve it for y. So let us do that. So half of y is equal to 4. So y will be equal to 8. Okay. Now uh, we can use this to solve the second equation. So because we have to find the value of x. So we have x minus half of y is equal to 2. So y is 8, so half of y is 4, so x minus 4 is equal to 2. So that gives x equal to 4 plus 2, which is 6. Okay, so this is the correct answer. So option D is the correct one. Okay, now let us look at the next question. Okay, so this is a system of two linear equation in two variables, and this is an easy question. So we are given two equations. One is x plus y is equal to 125 and x plus y is equal to 155. And the solution to the given system of equations is x comma y. What is the value of y? So first try to solve it for yourself and see if you can find the answer, and then we'll together do the solution and derive the answer. Okay, so let us try to solve the question. So we are given two equations. Let us write those down. x plus y is equal to 125 and x plus y is equal to 150. So we'll have to find y. So if you see here, this can be rewritten, the second equation can be rewritten as x plus 2y is equal to 155. So if we subtract the first equation from the second equation, then we'll get only y in our resultant expression, because x will get cancelled out. So let us do that. Equation 2 minus equation 1. So we'll get x plus 2y minus x plus y is equal to 155 minus 125 is equal to 30. So this will be x plus 2y minus x minus y, which will be y is equal to 30. So this is our answer. Y is equal to 30. And if you can also find out x by putting it here. So if y is 30, x will be 125 minus 30, which is 95. So we can write that down also. X equal to 95. So that will be our answer. 30 is the correct answer. Okay. Okay. Now let us move to the next question. This is question number 5. Okay. Yeah. This is the next question. It is a question based on linear functions, and it is a easy difficulty level question. So we have a word problem here, and we'll have to express it in terms of mathematical formula. So the question is, a veterinarian recommends that each day a certain rabbit should eat 25 calories per pound of the rabbit's weight plus an additional 11 calories. Which equation represents the situation where C is the total number of calories the veterinarian recommends the rabbit should eat each day if the rabbit's weight is X pounds? So for each pound of the rabbit should eat 25 calories. So for X pounds, the rabbit should have 25 X calories, and also we have additional 11 calories. So just we have to represent whatever the veterinarian recommended in terms of a mathematical formula of the total number of calories that should be consumed with respect to the weight of the rabbit in pounds. So try to get the right answer on your own, and then you can write the answers in the chat, and afterwards we'll solve the question and get the answer ourselves. Okay, so now let us solve the question. So we are given the number of calories the rabbit should eat per pound. So if the rabbit's weight is x pounds, he should consume 25x calories plus an additional 11 calories. So 25x plus 11. So let us write that down. So C is the total number of calories. It should be 25x plus 11. So that means this should be the right answer. Option number D, because we have 25 times the weight of the rabbit plus additional 11 calories. So D is the correct answer. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so here the question is again on the linear functions on algebra. So it is an easy question. So let us read the question and then you can attempt it and then we'll solve it together. So the total cost f of x in dollars to lease a car for 36 months from a particular car dealership is given by f of x is equal to 36x plus 1000, where x is the monthly payment. What is the total cost to lease a car when the monthly payment is 400? So we're given this function which describes the total cost of the leasing the car for 36 months. um, so for 36 months we have 36x plus 1000. So what is the total cost to lease a car when the monthly payment is 400? So x is the monthly payment here, so the cost is given as a function in terms of the monthly payment, and we are given the monthly payment here, so this is a direct substitution problem. So try to get the answer and then we can see if it is correct or not, and then we'll solve it together. Okay, now let us solve the question. So here let us write the function we are given. So f of x is equal to 36x plus 1000. So this is the total cost of car leasing for x monthly payment. So now for this case we have already given the monthly payment is already given x, that is the value of x, which is 400. So let us put that in the expression. F of 400 is equal to 36 multiplied by 400 plus 1000, which will be 36 times 4 is 14,144 and 2 zeros, so 14,400 plus 1000, and this will be equal to 15,400. Okay, so this is the right answer. So the correct answer is option C. Okay, let us go to the next question. Okay, so try to read the question and solve it on your own, and then we'll do the solution together. Okay, so let us do this question. So we have a this is a question based on linear inequalities. Here a shaded region is given and we are told to find the equation or the inequality which represents all the solutions to this shaded region. So whenever this kind of a region is given, we have to find its boundary and apply boundary conditions on the equations of the boundary lines. So here this region is bounded by this one line which is uh, 36, because here we are given 30 all the 36 as constant. So here this line passes through 0 36 0 36, which is this point, this point, and here y is equal to 36. So this is the equation of the line, because this is a horizontal line with no change in the y coordinate, only change in the x coordinate. So the equation of the line is y equal to 36. Whenever we have the equation of the line, then we'll find the shaded region either by applying greater than equal to or less than equal to, depending on the side of the region. Here the shaded region contains all the y coordinates which are greater than equal to 36. So the equation for this shaded region will be y greater than equal to 36. So this shaded region will be represented by this inequality. So our correct answer will be this option D. I hope that is clear. Okay, let us go to the next question. Okay, so this is a question linear equation in two variables, and this is a hard difficulty level question. um, we're given the following statement: the graph of the equation ax plus ky is equal to 6. So this is the equation of the line. Is a line in the xy plane where a and k are constants. If the line contains the points minus 2 comma minus x and 0 comma minus 3, what is the value of k? So we have a line, and the equation of the line is ax ax plus ky is equal to 6. And this line passes through these two points, minus 2 comma minus 6 and 0 comma minus 3. Okay. Then we have to find what is the value of k. So since these 2 points are on the line, they also satisfy the equation of the line. So let us put the points one by one. First we'll put this point minus 2 comma minus 6. So then we'll get this. So x equal to minus 2, so we'll get minus 2a plus minus 6k is equal to 6. So this will be minus 2a minus 6k is equal to 6. Then similarly for the second point, again if we put these coordinates in the equation of the line, we'll get 0 into a, which is 0, plus k into y is minus 3, so it will be minus 3k is equal to 6. So that means minus 3k is equal to 6, which means k is equal to minus 2. Okay, so this is the answer. K is equal to minus 2. Now if you want to find x, the value of a, then also we can do that. We can put k is equal to minus 2 in this equation, and then we'll get um, minus 2a minus 6 into minus 2 is equal to 6. Then minus 2a plus 12 is equal to 6. So minus 2a is equal to 6 minus 12, which is minus 6, and a is 3. So the equation will be 3x minus 2y after putting in the values. This is the equation of the line. So the correct answer is minus 2, because k is minus 2. Okay, let us move on to the next question. You can see the question for a minute and then we'll start solving. Okay, this question is a linear equation in two variables. So we are given that a line L is defined by 3y plus 12x is equal to 5, and there is another line N which is perpendicular to line L in the xy plane. What is the slope of line N? So let us write the equation for line L first. So 3y plus 12x is equal to 5. So we can bring the y in one side and then we can convert it into the form y equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope and c is the y-intercept. So we'll have y is equal to 5 minus 12x divided by 3, which is this will be you can divide minus 3 and 12 and you'll get minus 4x uh, plus 5 by 3. So now it is of the form slope intercept form y equal to mx plus c. So minus 4 is m and this is c. So m is equal to minus 4, which is the slope. Now we are told to find the slope of line n which is perpendicular to L. And in the last class also there is a similar question like that. So we know that if a line is perpendicular to another line, then the product of that slopes will be minus 1. m1 m2 is equal to minus 1. So the slope of the second line, that is n, will be, suppose it is m2 is equal to minus 1 by m, which is minus 1 by minus 4, which is 1 by 4. So slope of line n will be 1 by 4. Okay, so let us go to the next question. So this is another question in two variables, linear equations in two variables. The We are given two different equations. 3 by 2y minus 1 by 4x is equal to 2 by 3 minus 3 by 2y, and 1 by 2x plus 3 by 2 is equal to py plus 9 by 2. So in the given system of equations, p is a constant. We're given that the system has no solution, so what will be the value of p? So let us write the equation. 3 by 2y minus 1 by 4x is equal to 2 by 3 minus 3 by 2y. Let us write it in the standard format. So putting all the coefficients onto one side, so we'll get minus 1 by 4x, and if you bring this 3 by 2y here, it will be plus, so 3 by 2y plus 3 by 2y, which is 3y, plus 3y minus 2 by 3 is equal to 0. This is the first equation, and the second equation will be half of x plus 3 by 2 is equal to py plus 9 by 2. Okay, now this again we can bring it to this side, so we'll get half of x minus py, 3 by 2 minus 9 by 2 will be minus 6 by 2, which is minus 3 is equal to 0. Now we've got both of these equations in the standard form, so we'll compare the coefficients, and since the system has no solution, so we'll have this condition: a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is not equal to c1 by c2. Okay, so let's find out a1 by a2. a1 by a2 is equal to minus 1 by 4 by 1 by 2, which will be minus 1 by 4 multiplied by 2, which will be minus 1 by 2. Yeah. Okay, now for this we'll have 3 b1 by b2 is equal to p, we have 3y, so 3 by minus p, so this should be equal to minus 1 by 2, and c1 by c2 is not equal to minus 1 by 2, because c1 by c2 would be minus 2 by 3 by minus 3, so this will be multiplied by 1 by 3. So this will be equal to minus 2 by 9. or this, there is also minus here, so it will be 2 by 9. So it is different from minus 1 by 2, so that is clear. But this should be equal to a1 by 2, which is minus 1 by 2. So then 3 by minus p is equal to minus 1 by 2. The negative cancels out and we'll have p is equal to 6. So p should be equal to 6. So 6 is the correct answer. Question 1 and equation 2. Okay, so that is it for this tree, and then we'll solve the rest of the questions and some new sets of questions in the next tree. So thank you everyone for joining this tree, and see you in the next one.